Hey guys, it's Brittany, and welcome to the Paranormal Dimension. And today I'll be sharing with you this paranormal experience or experiences that I've had before and even now, but not often. But there are those times where I experience this, and that's where I hear someone calling my name. And I'm pretty sure there are those who have experiences too, where you hear a voice, whether if it's a familiar voice or even if it's not, but you hear a voice calling your name. And I've certainly had that. I've had those experiences even a long time ago and even now. Um, I can't remember the last time I heard someone calling my name, but if I had to guess, I would say it was about months ago. Maybe, oh, I don't know, maybe in the summer this year, but I don't know. But I do know it was months ago, and the other times that I've heard a voice calling my name, what I've always noticed is that when I hear a voice calling my name, that one, it would never sound like someone shouting or yelling, because then I would just get a bad feeling from it, because I don't like it when if I heard a voice that was shouting something at me or yelling, like really like raising their voice, then yeah, I would get startled by that, and that would just make me feel uneasy. But when I would hear a voice calling out to me, saying my name, that sometimes I hear, whether if it's a woman's voice that I hear or a man's voice, it just depends on if it's a man or woman's voice at times. And sometimes the voice will sound familiar, and other times the voice that I hear won't sound familiar. And and so and so what I think is that I think when I do hear someone calling out to me, saying my name, that I think it's no matter what I'm doing, no matter if maybe if I'm in the kitchen, maybe looking for something to eat, or making coffee, or if I'm maybe in my room, maybe listening to music, or if I'm watching TV, a movie, or if I'm playing a game on my phone, or what. And so I think no matter what it is that I'm doing, or what it is that I'm thinking or feeling at the moment, that there will be those times where I will hear a voice. And I think when I do hear a familiar voice, it could be someone in spirit that I know, whether if I personally know or even if I don't know them personally. But it could be that I'm just hearing somebody's voice that sounds familiar at that moment, and it could be that they had just visited me, maybe to say I'm here, you know. I think so. I believe so. And I think other times when I don't hear a familiar voice, I could be, maybe it's guardian angel, just letting me know that they're there, that they're here, so could be. And it could be either to get my attention, could be to tell me, I'm here, and maybe that's another way to comfort somebody, because I also notice that when I hear a voice calling my name, and like I said, well, sometimes it's either a woman's voice or a man's voice, depends. And also, when I do hear it, it's just very gentle, and it sounds like comforting. And so yeah, when I do hear it, you know, so when I do hear it, at times I will turn my head where I will, yeah, I'll turn my head the other way, and like to where I heard it. And so, but once I look, and of course no one's there, but I'm like, okay, I heard someone called me. But here's another thing. I even noticed that sometimes, like if I'm somewhere, if I'm doing something and if someone does call to me, sometimes it won't be where it's just like sometimes it won't sound where it's like soft, like gentle and comforting. Sometimes it will sound like if someone's looking for me. Like how when if someone's in the same room, but then if they walk away and the person's like, "Hey, where do you go?" Kind of like that. So other times I'll hear it in that way too, where it's like, "Brittany," like that, where it sounds like that. Or other times it will sound like, "Brittany," like that. Or sometimes it will sound, or like I said, it will sound gentle and comforting as um, like Brittany, like that. And so, depending how it sounds and and when I do hear it, then I'm like, okay, who's there? Um, so yeah, that's the one thing I think, like, who's there? Are you trying to get my attention? Are you trying to tell me something? Or, so I don't know. It could be anything. But, yeah, and I would say, when I do hear it, I don't, get a bad feeling. But there was a one time where I heard someone called my name, but it was right behind me. And it kind of scared me because I remember when I had walked out of the bathroom and turned off the light, I heard someone whispered behind me, and it said, "Brittany, do not look behind you." So that to me was, it was scary because I didn't know whether if this was a spirit trying to scare me and to say that. So I don't know if this was a spirit trying to scare me, or if this could have been maybe a good spirit. Maybe, like I said, maybe it could have been maybe a guardian angel, maybe to warn me not to look behind me, since it was dark in the bathroom. So I don't know if this was a spirit trying to scare me or a spirit trying to warn me and to tell me not to look behind me. So that it could have been a warning, but I don't know. But yes, I do get that at times. It doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, it just happens, unexpected, and it happens where of course, where I'm not thinking it's gonna happen, but it happens like at any time, any day that I could hear a voice calling out to me, a woman's voice or a man's voice, whether if it sounds familiar or if it doesn't. And sometimes it will sound different each time. Sometimes it will sound like Brittany or Brittany, like calling out to me in that way. or sometimes it'll be just comforting, so it just depends. So yeah, I think the last time that happened, it was probably months ago. So yeah, and yeah, I know this is something that will still happen. So yeah, and I know with other things too, like with knocking, tapping, other sounds that I hear, that I know those are the things that I'll continue to hear. And it just depends on maybe what I'm doing, what I'm thinking or feeling, because it seems like those things start to happen. Uh, well, I noticed that certain things like that start to happen when, um, oh yeah, yeah, that those things start to happen when it's like just when you're doing something, or just when you're, you know, thinking of something or feeling something, and then something happens at the exact time, or maybe just when you were thinking that, and maybe it's just, maybe about telling you something about it. And I notice that happens with me. um, that happens with me most of the time, to be honest. Like whatever it is that I'm thinking or feeling, and either something I'll hear or something I will see, like maybe move, and that's happened. And I know that's something that will continue to happen because, you know, um, we're in a very much spiritual world. Because, yes, even though we are physical beings, which is very true, but at the same time, we're also spiritual beings. So anything that we're gonna hear, sounds, voices, knocks, taps, um, so anything that we're gonna hear or see, that those are the things that we're gonna continue to see and hear, because it's just a gift that we have. And of course, not everyone will have that because they can't handle things like that. But for those who can um, handle it, of not only to talk about it, but to even to handle with, to be around it, and those who accept it and who are able to really handle of what it is that they hear or see spiritually, then yeah, it is a gift for those who can handle it, because they're, brave enough to, to talk about it, and to talk about experiences, and to talk about other things of the spiritual realm. So yeah, I know that for a fact. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And so for more movie content, reactions, streams, and the paranormal, subscribe and click on the bell so you be notified when I upload. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.